Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UCL, the hottest of all of the finest contendees here. And my name is Travis. I'm joined here by Gus. And Gus, we don't have much time to spare. This team is flying through pick and ban. How are you doing? Are you ready?
I don't have a choice in the matter. They're already going. We got all the bans in. We got first picks coming in. We got Zaya first picked here for the blue side team, which is Illinois Academy, taking on UNLV from Las Vegas, Nevada. And yeah, go ahead and run us through what we've got so far.
Well, right now, I mean, what we're looking at, Zaya being first picked already between these two teams here. And the power picks coming on in. Sejuani getting some love here. And you got to think they might be looking to lock in a component for their bot lane, seeing that the Zaya's already on the other side of the table.
Yeah, that would definitely be a smart thing here. Obviously, the other quote-unquote OP ADC at the moment is Kai'Sa, but Lux being locked in, which is a specialty of Vibber in the mid lane for UNLV. It is his second most played champion this season and very highly played for other seasons for him. So still a chance it could potentially be support, but likely going to Fibber. But looking at the strategy coming out from Illinois here as they banned out Elise, Syndra, and Rek'Sai, banning away early game junglers from Mahad in the jungle for UNLV puts him on Sejuani, who is a champion that can engage fights very well. Not quite as strong early game as Elise and Rek'Sai, so deferring a bit of power as they pick up Olaf for themselves, a very strong early game jungler. So Illinois Academy looking to bring the pain in the early game with the Olaf compared to Sejuani.
Can they go ahead and jump on in? It works very well into Lutz as well, and the Qiyana being picked up as well here, so they're looking to assassinate this Lutz pretty early on and give him some problems. Now you gotta wonder what is going to be the answer to be if you're looking on the other side and you see this Qiyana being picked up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because you can play Lux into Qiyana and just try and sit as far back as possible, but if you don't manage your wave correctly, that could lead to you giving up a bunch of CS and pressure. Because the threat of a Qiyana grabbing the water element from the river and rooting you and killing you with the Olaf is something, but they will lock in LeBlanc, which means that's probably going to be Lux support unless they run like a Lux carry bottom lane or something like that. And LeBlanc is Fibber's most played champion this season compared to Lux, which is his second most. So a little bit of a flex pick coming in here.
Yeah, I like it, man. That was a beautifully well done little bit of a just... You see the Lutz, and you're immediately like, that's going to be mid. And they say, you know what? No, we actually wanted to get the counter pick here. So very intense drafting coming out for this mid lane. Now we're seeing some bot lane focused bans coming out here. The Nami, the Janna, Kai'Sa, and I'm imagining maybe another bot laner getting banned out here.
Yeah, something I would like to point out is that Winfield's most played support for the past couple of years has been Lux support. So might have been a little more obvious when I made it out to be without saying that, but definitely a good flex pick. But banning out more supports, more of these enchanter peely type supports in the Nami and Janna, but I don't know that that's what Illinois would be going for with this team comp. This team comp looks just kind of pedal to the metal, get going, use the Qiyana ult and kill everyone. So I'm interested to see what else Illinois is going to pick up as Lucian gets locked in for UNLV. So they have some teamfight prowess here with Sejuani and a little bit of zone control from the Lux support. But the other two picks so far are very early mid-game focus with Lucian and LeBlanc. You know, LeBlanc late game can assassinate people, but in a straight-up teamfight situation, it's hard for her to get the correct flanks and positioning she needs to do so without dying herself. So I'm interested to see what UNLV will round out their comp with.
And check this out, Vladimir being picked on up, and now we will see what the support is going to be locked in here in the bot lane. I'm very curious to see that, because it's like you're talking about, you were talking about the enchanters being banned away. Morgana is still up on the table if you really want to go for that, and you got to look at this. Leona is still up as well, so they have a lot of options. And Taric, that was not an option I was considering.
Yeah, well, Taric is one of those champions that needs a lot of team coordination to actually use to its most efficient, you know, using all his power effectively, because if you ult too early or too late, you get nothing out of it. But it makes sense for this Illinois team comp. You know, they have just a team fight. They got Vladimir and Kiana and Olaf and Zaya. So you might as well make them invulnerable. But UNLV fires back with the Gangplank, which does add that late game scaling, that team fight presence with the cannon barrage and the barrels. So both of these teams have very well-rounded team comps here that they're looking to do team fights, but it's in a different way. Illinois wants to clump up, kill you all in a massive AoE. UNLV wants to spread you out a little bit with all the zone control. Let LeBlanc and the Lucian and the Gangplank pick you off when you end up without the rest of your team.
I mean, you gotta think about it too. The fact that Lutz's binding hits one target off to the side, and that is somebody who can get annihilated right there. It doesn't have to be the Lutz to burst them down. The Lutz can pop him so low as a support Lutz that the LeBlanc comes around and just distorts on top of him, and that's all she has to do. Doesn't even have to do full combo. This could be a very scary situation if you do not clump up. If you do get caught out on the side here when you're looking at yourself as Illinois.
Yep, and exactly like you said, the Lux support brings a surprising amount of damage. You know, you sit there and you think, oh, it's just a Lux with a support item, but the damage is very deceiving. And even if it doesn't end up killing a squishy target, the LeBlanc can follow up with a distortion, Gangplank barrel, Gangplank ult, Lucian diving in on the side. You know, there's so many ways to be picked off from the side of UNLV. But on the side of Illinois, you have Kiana and Olaf, as that sounds one of the most devastating jungle mid 2v2s that there could be. You know, Kiana brings a CC, and her damage is nothing to laugh at. She can assassinate you just fine. But especially early on, you bring the Olaf to that party too with all the damage he brings, especially early on. And anyone that gets caught out by the Kiana Olaf is probably just going to die.
Now, you know, Kiana Olaf does make one heck of a tag team, but you know who's a better tag team? Tarek and Olaf, man. I'm telling you, these guys are coming in here with the glamorous Vikings, man. That's their wrestling tag team name, right? These guys are going to come out and they're going to, oh yeah, what you going to do? We're going to clothesline you. We're going to leave you razzle-dazzled all across the map. Oh yeah, it's bright and radiant. It's going to be a disgusting time to actually look at when they actually are able to pull out that combo. Because like you're talking about, they have the coordination. They have that. Tarek Olaf is very devastating. That's not even including what the Vladimir in combination could be with the Tarek as well. And you even said it yourself, invulnerability. Can't get damaged if you're invulnerable.
Yeah, and Olaf can't be CC'd. So while Ragnarok's going with the Tarek ultimate, he's basically a walking wall of damage that you cannot do anything to.
A sponge that absorbs no water.
A sponge soaked in, I don't know, laminated sponge.
Put that out in the kitchen. That will make everybody family.
But there's just a lot of AoE that Illinois has that UNLV needs to watch out for. Because even if they dodge the Kiana ultimate and the Hemo Plague doesn't kill them and Olaf's not killing them, there's still a Zaya out there throwing out feathers, rooting people up, doing a ton of damage. You know, she's heralded as one of the best 2 ADCs in the game right now for a reason. And a lot of it stems from the fact that she can just leave those feathers out and put down a bunch of AoE and keep herself relatively safe and just do a ton of damage. So it's going to be fun to see the cat and mouse game between the Zaya and the LeBlanc and the Lux bindings and seeing exactly what goes on here, because this draft is a powder keg waiting to explode, no pun intended, due to the Gangplank. But I think whichever side gets that early lead is going to be the one to bring it in, unless the opposing team gets caught up in a wombo combo.
Listen, I got one bone to pick with you, man. I have to say, when you say puns not intended, man, intend your puns, you coward. Okay, I'm throwing down the gauntlet right now. But I do have to say, they put a lot of confidence on the Zaya pick, like you were talking about. A very powerful pick as well. But you looked over at Nevada, and Nevada was just like, you know what, man? These guys were just looking at their team, and they said, you know, we don't really need the Lucian this bad, right? They were. You look at UNLV, and they're just like, we're waiting on the AD carry. They picked theirs last rotation. That tells me a lot about this team automatically, because if you see what's on the opposition and you wait that long, They wanted to get a full picture of what kind of AD carry they wanted to play around this team. And Lucian could fit into the fold very nicely with this whole, you need to be grouped up. Well, Lucian could get out of dodge very quickly and very efficiently.
Yeah, not only that, if a fight goes the way of UNLV and they spread people out, Lucian can chase people down and kill them very effectively. So if a fight gets separated due to a good Gangplank ultimate, or people trying to flash away from a Sejuani ultimate, or dodging away from Gangplank barrels and Lux bindings, LeBlanc and Lucian can dash after them and kill them. So, you know, their team, while it's not as push button as Illinois Academy's is still very effective at what it's trying to accomplish here. So I'm very, very excited to see how this game plays out, because I think it falls onto Sushi Kill and Dandito as the mid 2v2 to secure their team a bit of advantage when it comes to the neutral objectives, because the Kiana ultimate is just so damn good into the neutral objectives.
And you want to know something else, Gus? I'm going to tell you about something that's so damn good. That's right. I'm talking about the thing that you goes clickety-clack. Give me some of that. It's going to be Kono. They make the finest keyboards and mechanical caps, all that great stuff for your computers and all that other needs that you may need a keyboard for. They are the greatest when it comes down to computer peripherals. So make sure you check them out. That is Kono. That's KONO.store to be able to get yourself hooked up with the finest of keyboards. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take ourselves a short break to analyze just how damn good this game's about to be. Don't go anywhere, as we'll be right back. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to the UCL. We are getting right into game one of this heated best of 3. My name's Travis E. I'm joined here with Gus. And we are seeing the units are spreading out a little bit here in the early part.
Yeah, once you buy Zeke's Herald and you want your units to be together for these. Oh, wait, wrong game. My bad.
Wait, wrong game, Gus. Gus and that TFT grind can't differentiate the 2 games anymore. He's like, can you not get that AP item that crits on your LeBlanc? What? Come on, man.
Oh my. Yeah, forget DFG. Just give me that, dude.
We don't need our mages building IE. Okay, I don't want that. I don't want to live in that world. But with that being said, man, you're gonna see. I feel like the mid game and the mid lane and this bot lane are definitely gonna be things that we have to keep our eye on for sure.
Yeah, it's been a thing I've seen with Lucian picks lately is they never get that, or very rarely do they get the lead that you actually want to out of a Lucian pick to where it becomes actually worth it playing him. You pick him to be the lane bully in the early game powerhouse, and him going Essence Reaver first or after Blade of the Rune King lets him scale a little better than the old Black Cleaver build, but it's still nothing compared to what Xayah can bring later on. So setting the Xayah behind early is definitely the goal here for Cleanse and Winfield in the bottom lane. So hopefully for them it goes the way they want it to. Otherwise the Lucian pick is just kind of meh, in my opinion.
I agree with you on that one. It's very rarely that you get to see Lucian actually get the pop off the way he used to back in the day. Even if you go for the crit build, it is a pick that's dependent on having that laning prowess, and we could definitely see that. Taric does have a very telegraphed moveset, and he is a melee support, so they could get themselves a little bit bullied with the combination of Lucian Lutz.
Yeah, and especially with Lux being able to throw out the Lucian singularities pretty much whenever she feels like will eventually poke them down, just like that. Just do that over and over and over again, and eventually they'll be low enough for you to either all in or force it back to where you can get some plates or something along those lines. And that's basically what Lux is good for. And this Lux went Comet as well, so definitely looking for the lane bully, not opting into Aftershock for that skirmish, team fight, pick potential where you get the Aftershock root someone and are unkillable for a couple seconds.
Winfield is a give me your lunch money kind of let's play, right? Like, it's just a straight up bully. That's the way he likes to play the champion. And hey, we're not here to judge. We're here to just enjoy the show he's about to put on. Junglers are both down here towards the bottom side, so could see some interesting jungler intervention as Dandito taking a heaping amount of damage from the LeBlanc.
Yeah, LeBlanc's really good into Qiyana early on in the laning phase. There's not a whole lot that can be done once you get a chain wrapped on you. She just gets to put her marks on you and pop them, do all that damage. Unless you're rookie into Jensen anyway, in which case then Qiyana solo kills LeBlanc.
By the way, I gotta take notice that ward just expired in the bottom. Oh wait, Fiber going ham!
Oh!
Fiber gonna die! What is that? You get the kill, but was it worth it? Just gave her some money right back in the pocket of Dandito.
Yeah, and Dandito's only down 3 CS, and he completes his Moby boots, so, in the end, I think that's worth for Dandito. He didn't have to use summoner spells. Olaf cleared the wave, so he doesn't have to teleport, and he's running down bottom lane right now with his newly purchased Moby boots.
Yeah, he's got Moby boots. Those boots are made for walking. That's just what they do. This bot lane needs to watch out because they can't ward deep enough for this Qiyana too. Dandito looking for a flank. He could possibly go for something. They don't know. There's going to be a stun to come on out. They're going to have to sacrifice one person's life, but it's going to be a sacrifice for cleanses. Dandito picks himself up another kill, and that is going to be big for him as Winfield's like, oh, maybe I should keep a ward inside that bush now.
Yeah, and that's basically what you want to use the Qiyana like kind of a second jungler. She rushes the Moby boots to make plays just like that.
I mean, that was disgusting. Oh, I just died. Never mind. He took Moby boots and he just ran to lane, and oh man, that is a great play for them on their part. The bad thing is though, they did have to sacrifice Pie Master for that play to even work out, and that was a lot of lost CS for them.
Yeah, and Dandito did end up losing some CS in the mid that, Olaf ended up getting. So it'll help make sure that he stays ahead of Sejuani experience-wise. But down 10 CS, but up a kill, plus the first blood gold, and he's 200 or so gold up on Fibber right now. So he's doing just fine for himself.
Fibber doing just fine as the LeBlanc wants to probably get a little bit more aggression coming out and really hurting Dandito a little bit more. Didn't pick up any combat stats. It's all move speed from those Mobies, so very important to take note of. But Piemaster getting jumped onto by Cleanse here, and
good dodge.
That's exactly what you wanted to see from Illusion. But like you said, great dodge coming out. And oh, Piemaster taking so much damage.
Yeah, and that's the thing that players have finally gotten used to playing against Xayah. When Shern or Khan first came out, people would forget that the feathers were behind you. So in a situation like that, they just keep running straight at her and try to auto her and get rooted and get killed. But Dandito's in some trouble.
Yeah, and you got Fibber coming on in, laying out the damage. A successful gank comes out from Mahat, and they're going to be able to pick up that kill. And that's exactly what they want to do. And Flash is now down for them. Piemaster does not get the stun, but we have an Axis coming on down. Ragnarok, baby. Sushi Killer. Eating Winfield like sushi. Going to be saying that is a delish dish. And could be looking to make their way up to this Cloud Drake.
Yeah, good response from Sushi Killer. Sees that Mahat was mid. LeBlanc, good gank setup, but forces the flash out just to make sure that Dandito does die. And he responded by going bottom lane, and now they're going to get themselves his dragon, it looks like. So good stuff out of Sushi Killer, making things happen elsewhere. When something bad happens, he tries to turn it into a positive for his team.
Gonna make it sure that works out. That is a Cloud Drake coming on over to Illinois. They are definitely going to enjoy that. Olaf enjoys all the movement speed, and so does Vladimir. So really good for them.
And Kiana.
Yeah, Kiana too. Yeah, you don't think about it like you were talking about earlier, but Moby Boots is looking to be like that second jungler for the team.
And look at all the long swords on the side of Illinois right now.
I was about to say,
wait, got 6 long
swords
swords chilling in all the inventory.
Oh, speaking of second jungler, Kuwasawa is going to have himself getting blown on. That's a supreme display of talent that's going to be the death of Iwasawa. And that's just going to be beautiful to see come out.
Amplified by the Hemo Plague, too. So that was a lot of damage. And Iwasawa's not having a good time for that one. And landed the Supreme Display of Talent onto the turret to get the actual damage on it. Very good stuff from Dandito.
He's just trying to, finish up his cold, man. He
died again, and he's only down 3 CS now after roaming so much, too. So he's definitely having more of an impact on the overall map than Fibber is at this point, despite the kills going on in the mid lane with Dandito dying twice.
Technically, Fibber, every time he has initiated something, it has been his death. Let's see if that stays true. Glacial Prison coming on out. That's the change. Throw away the key. Dandito is gone. And Vladimir used his TP to get to the mid lane, so he's going to have that long walk back to the top side of the map.
Yeah, but here's the thing, too, is Dandito is getting his Vladimir and his Xayah assist gold. He ended up with the kills, but he's making things happen elsewhere on the map and getting them assist gold, getting them map pressure, whereas they just come back mid and kill him, and he was only down 3 CS before then, so it's gonna
look at this already.
Fibber. He's coming back again, boys!
He has a secret strategy. Don't tell any coaches this, but this guy, he dies in lane, he roams to another lane immediately. Look at this guy already down here in the bot side. They're looking for some action, but they do spot him out this time. I like this Dandito guy. Oh, man. This guy is putting on a show already, but look at this free pressure for Fibber over here in the mid lane. I'm surprised Fibber hasn't been able to make any roams work for himself here.
Yeah, I mean, he's grown the CS lead to about 20, but Olaf's coming in mid, not much going to happen there.
And Clean's going to expertly dodge that one on out, and that's a lot of damage being put back on Wakari. That's the final spark of your life.
Get both.
Clean's is going to be able to get more autos, but the heal is going to be enough to save Piemaster, as that is just too much damage. You cannot whiff a stun like that.
Here comes Sushi
Dandito. They're going to find someone else to whiff. Sushi Killer going to pick up 1. That's going to be 2. That goes over to Sushi Killer. Double kill going over as they get the return back to themselves.
Yeah, good reaction, making sure they come down and get things going here. And, it's just more and more assist gold going into Dandito and his teammates. And, now you have a 3-0 Olaf, and while Olaf doesn't scale very well, when he gets this much gold, he will be threatening longer into the game than he otherwise would be. So, especially since he went the Warrior, he's just going to be very strong for a good while now. And, having the Kiana and the Olaf able to do their 2v2 allows this Vladimir and Zaya more time to scale up.
Telling you, man, the wrestling duo of Olaf Tarek is something to be feared. He's come down to the bot lane. He's been trying to tag in, catch those hot tags to come on in. And so far, he's working out right now. 3-0. He is looking absolutely swole every time he comes down there. But I'm like you, man. You got to figure out a way to get this Olaf rolling, get some stuff going for them, and just get something that's going to be huge for them. Because this game has been completely even since this time it started.
Yeah, just a 300 gold lead thus far into the game, and kind of a scaling advantage on the side of Illinois, because you have LeBlanc and Lucian, who Lucian does all right, but compared to Vladimir Zaya,
he's stunned up. Master's going to be able to pick up that kill. They're going to be able to get an ultimate display of talent, and that was a beautiful interrupt. Forced away Mahad, but now Fibber is going to find himself in a bad spot. Yeah, this Olaf is saying, no, you are going to die. He is in a tricky spot. Fibber, what is this? Fibber is getting up out of here. You are not catching this man here today. You will remember this as the day you almost caught Fibber. Oh, no, Fibber.
Oh, he got him.
Fibber almost got away with the magical chase right there, but it is going to be an Ocean Drake and a life claim there on the run.
Yeah, once Kiana's Moby Boots kick back in, there's kind of no way for you to run from her unless you just completely juke where you're at.
Okay, binding hits onto Sushi Killer, takes a lot of damage, eats it on up. Nom nom. It's going to be able to get up out of there. That's not going to be any big thing. Now the gold lead is changing, and they got some free stats in their pocket, but look at Zeke. Zeke's not having fun in this gameplay match.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes at this point. Vlad only heals for 40 base damage off his Q, so you really need some AP to get the actual sustain going in from your transfusion. So he's got Proto Belt now, he's got a Fiendish Codex, things will get better for him, but Gangplank's almost got his cull completed, just needs to finish the Stinger and the combined cost for the Trinity Force, so Gangplank's pretty strong too. But you look at Lucian, and he's up some CS, but he's 0-3-2 at this point, and doesn't have Blade of the Rune King completed yet compared to Zaya's Essence Reaver. So the Lucian pick, once again, not working out as you'd want it to.
I think it comes down. Oh, Pie Master going up to the top side. Says 1v1 me, Gangplank. Come back, you coward. He's gonna.
There was quite a few crits there for just an Essence Reaver.
Hey man, look, those feathers hurt.
Yeah, especially when you
ever had a feather thrown at you? It's not fun. Ooh, that was a ultimate
okay.
Where they were going to be at. The glacial person does come on out. They're going to be able to get onto Dandito. That's going to be their artillery. That's going to be the backside, but a huge supreme of talent that's going to be showcased in the backside. Sushkill is going to be able to go onto a rampage. That's going to be kills trading back and forth, but ultimately in favor of Illinois, and they're going to be able to get that in favor of themselves, and they get the Herald.
Yeah, it went 2 for 1. They got the Rift Herald, and they got Fibber dead. They finally killed him again. They killed Mahad for the first time. So yeah, things are looking good for Illinois thus far. And now the top laners resuming what they were doing before, just in the bottom lane.
Honestly, Dandito looked so comfortable on this Kiana pick too. I gotta say, like he's every ultimate he's done has just been clean.
Yeah, and I'm a bit surprised that UNLV opted into running right into a Kiana at a neutral objective like that, because what a lot of people don't know is that if you're in the river, the shockwave that your ult puts out, it doesn't spread, but the shockwave will happen in the area, and it'll do the damage in the river and in bushes as well, and it'll stun. It just doesn't spread like it does on walls. So just because you're not up against a wall in the river doesn't mean that Kiana can't do anything to you.
Oh, but check this out. Cleanse going for the 1v1. The spark does not connect.
Whoa,
They
big
do
root!
get the feathers plug. Bandito, he's looking for it. He is hungry. Cleanse goes on down. And Cleanse, he can win the 1v1 versus Pie Master, but he won't 1v1 him back. It just feels so bad to be Cleanse at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the power of Xayah, leaving all those feathers behind. Just something as, you know, just normal as, okay, walking back up to the wave, you get half your health taken, you're rooted, the enemy assassin shows up out of nowhere with Moby boots and target dashes at you and you just die.
Like, Kiana is a Orianna that can just straight up kill you.
Good
Here
flash.
we go, the invulnerability that's coming on out. They're just going to absolutely burst and decimate it. And that is the power of Tarek. You were talking about it. Coordinated strikes is all you need. This tower could go down here very shortly. Sushi Killer looking to take it down in the mid lane, and Chain's not going to hit. Fiber's getting in a bad spot here. Those stats will hurt over time. Dodges one. He picks it up. He's going to throw another one.
Oh, they picked the wrong one.
Is not going to be able to get it. Dandito. Oh, he distorted right on back. And they're still looking for him. The Hemo play's been used. Dandito's still on the hunt, but they're not going to get him. Wow. Oh, wow. Watching Fibber is just going through emotions constantly.
Zaker invested his flash there. Almost got him. Unfortunately, just the level 11 Hemo Plague with the little bit of AP he has wasn't enough to kill Fibber. But, you know, that means that they're feeling it. You know, that the fact that Zaker, who's 0-0-1 at this point into the game, was willing to flash over the wall to try and do something, you know, you can tell that Illinois is feeling it right now. They've got the mojo going.
Yeah, they're in a good spot. And I think with this team composition, you were talking about it, they like to bunch up and do all this other stuff. You want to be the team that's ahead in choosing fights. And that's exactly what this team composition feels like they're doing. They are absolutely setting the tone of what fight's going to be where and how they're going to fight you and where they're going to fight you.
Yeah, and Wakanari is pinging the Xayah ultimate and the Kiana ultimate in the chat right now, saying, hey guys, once these cooldowns are up, we can go look for something to happen. Because at this point, you know, UNLV's not going to walk up for a Cloud Drake against the Kiana. You know, even if they know the ultimate's not available, there's still just a lot of things that the Kiana can do to them. And they're behind, so they don't need to be running into neutral objectives head on like this at this point. Because they still have the insurance policy of the Gangplank. And if it's played well enough, Gangplank can still win them this game later on. It's just, there's a lot to overcome, and they need to start finding some good plays now on the side of UNLV in order to come back in this game.
Yeah, and look at this. Clint dashes forward, and he's going to find himself getting dunked by some axes there. This is almost all of his HP there. Odd is going to have to use his ultimate. That was a very good use of the Feather Storm, and you see Cleanse goes for a play, almost get punished for it, and they try to punish Pie Master, and he says he hits the note button.
Yeah, and it was very good just to dodge the Sejuani ultimate and forcing a flash now too.
I don't know if those chickens are worth that. The chickens came with a hefty price, and that was
it's a matter of pride among junglers, alright? Like, you're not as mad if the enemy jungler like smites it away. But like when you have smite up and a non-jungler's trying to steal your camp, you're just gonna smite it. It's just part of the deal.
You can't let them just take your chickens, man.
Exactly.
I respect that, but one thing that Mahad wants to respect is he wants to lay some respect on the Pie Master. Here comes the Radiance coming on down. CP is coming off from the side, but Sushi Killer's going to go ahead and dunk this Sejuani. Now is in the side. The final spark is going to be able to get a kill. Hemo Play's been used. Members, he is going to look to just drain their HP bars. Now Fibber is here in the area. He gets the chance, and that's going to be a kill to come on out. But that is a huge ultimate coming out from Dandito. And yet again, every ultimate from Dandito is so freaking clean.
I think those are my favorite Kiana ultimates, when you throw it to hit someone on the other side of the wall. And they're just like not expecting it, you know, they're just kind of like there. And, when it hits you...
Shockwave, man.
Yeah! Like, it does a decent amount of base damage, plus just 10% of your max health. So, you really have to watch out for it. If Kiana's chasing you, don't walk next to walls. The
walls are your enemy at that point in time. I think that's, like, one of the big reasons why we saw Talia jungle coming out for a bit because they're just like, well, it complements Quinn so well.
Yeah,
they don't want to be near walls, but we bring a wall.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time we casted, where it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Wall Shadow, you know? Just the wall comes out and attacks.
Ah, the Yu-Gi-Oh! References, they're coming back.
Walls are not your friend when there's a Kiana on the other team.
It is true, it is true. So
or Kane.
That too.
That's the new OP combo. Kane, Kiana. Double the walls killing you.
Yeah, dude, you know what? Put Talia in there. We just have
she builds the wall in front of you and then it kills you.
Yeah, yep, exactly. We're coming up with new comps here, but right now there's somebody who's going to be in danger. Is it going to be Cleanse? Is it going to be Mahad? It's going to be nobody because they're going to get out of dodge.
And you see, they just have to turn and run. There's no fighting that. You know, the Cosmic Radiance was available, so he could have thrown it down, but just the 5-0 Olaf running at you with the Ragnarok on, you're just like, nope, get me out of here.
That was essentially like, you see a Tarek, he's charging up his stun and whatnot. You see that coming at you, that's essentially like somebody like prepping their finishing move. You see the hand signs coming out. It doesn't matter what you've been watching, there's always like a hand sign or like they yell their move right before they do it.
Or Piccolo's just sitting there charging up his special beam cannon for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're like, oh no, I'm gonna get away from this because I've seen what happened to Raditz.
Poor Raditz.
Now, we are getting into the game, 21 minutes in. Quite a good lead that has been secured for Illinois here. And, oh, he's gonna get caught! Lots of damage being put onto him. The clone won't survive. Barely does Fibber. And that could be the call they're looking for to actually start up this Baron.
Yeah, Cleanse is out of mana as well, so Final Spark will be used to check and confirm that they're doing it. Gangplank coming out, but I don't know if they care.
They caught somebody else on.
Dandino
in the best spot. They're all very, very low. This could be the fight that they're looking to grab here. Everybody is so low from Illinois. Ragnarok has been popped from Sushi Killer, but they're not able to capitalize anything else just here. They weren't able to secure any kills. It just dropped everybody down so low.
I think Zaya can wave clear mid as well, so they may be able to get the Drake out of this, but it's still like, you got a Moby Boots Kiana coming at you, so you got to be quick with this Infernal Drake.
Oh, check this out, Double TP down below them. They could be looking for a possible fight to come out here if they overstay. They are going to be able to catch out the Olaf onto the side here. There is going to be a huge ultimate coming on down. Lots of damage. Prime Master picks up the kill onto Winfield, and they are dropped down and have to run away, losing a member on the back of that.
Yeah, and now they're going to go right back to the Baron and either do it or bait it out for another big play like that. They don't have the Supreme Display of Talent, but everything else is available or just about to be available. And they're just going to do it.
Yeah, they're just going to go for it here. There is no jungler here in the area, and it's melting down very fast. They have a game plan that's over here. They're going to go ahead and use the powder kegs over the wall, but they're not going to be able to drop anybody down really well. They don't have the poking power of the Lutz Laser, and that is going to be a Baron going over to Illinois here.
Yeah, and just like that, Olaf completed a Guardian Angel. So now he's 5-0, and to get his first death, you have to kill him twice.
And
through a Terrical!
Oh no. That's going to be a hard
You got Terrical, you got Guardian Angel, you got just how strong he is in general. It's gonna be a rough time for UNLV to find a way to claw this game back.
The fun thing to look at too, we're about to hit the 24-minute mark. UNLV hasn't actually grabbed themselves a single tower yet either. That's a huge statement to talk about when they have Baron, because they're forced to turtle. They don't have any minion waves control on the side lanes or anything. They are just at the mercy of what has been set up in front of them.
Yeah, and they also drafted the winning lanes in mid lane and bottom lane too. So the fact that they weren't able to get those towers either is just a testament to what Dandito and Sushi Killer did in the early game.
Mm-hmm. Dandito, he may have gotten solo killed and killed a couple times in lane. Those 3 deaths came from things that Fibber actually went and engaged upon, but Fibber lost his life a couple times in response to it, or didn't get what they needed off of it. Here we go.
Oh,
Fight is coming on out.
Winfield.
Winfield is going on down. Master's going to be able to pick that up. Flash goes forward. Wakanari not going to be able to pick that one up. That's a Glacial Prison on a Ragnarok Olaf. You're not going to be able to secure anything off of that.
Cosmic Radiance,
and they're going to be able to get the 4-man Cosmic Radiance. That is going to be an inhibitor. They're going to be able to pick that up nice and nifty. They're going to rotate up to the top side, pick themselves up another tower.
Yeah, and that just shows you how versatile Kiana can be. Just in your own base, the walls, they're still not safe. No walls are safe. Just like when you're a CLG fan and no thread on Reddit is safe, there are no walls that are safe.
Oh my god! It's fair enough on that one, as we are going to see them start to apply pressure now to this top inhibitor. They do have members up here. The Vladimir is on the bot side, no TP, so they could look for a 4v5 fight, but is it a fight that they would win? 11K is in favor of Illinois here in the blue side, and they got those stats from the Drake as well to bat them on up. They were looking for something, giving a little bit of a piece of its mind right there.
Yeah, and that's kind of how you have to play LeBlanc at this stage in the game, is just jump in, double distortion, try and do whatever you can to try and poke them down. Because once an actual fight starts, you jumping in once the Xayah has all her feathers out, you're just going to end up getting rooted and either have to pop back without doing damage, or you get rooted up and die.
Oh, here we go. They're looking for Sushi Killer. He is going to go on down, but Guardian Angel is going to keep him well and healthy. He's going to be able to get up out of dodge. That's going to be a binding to hit only onto Wakanari. But look at this. Zaker is just freely split pushing down here in the bot side. Iwasawa cannot fight him at this level. Wakanari takes the final spark, but it's not going to be enough to kill him. The heal had to be used by Padmaster. Lance has dropped down very low. They've lost an inhibitor on the bot side. Now they're going to lose an inhibitor over here on the top side. They have to pull the trigger sometime. Wakanari is going to be over here. He's going to be able to get stunned. No, he's not going to be able to get it. That's the Featherstorm over there on the bat side. He's going to look to pull these feathers back. He's going to be able to pick the gear up on the Fibber. But Pymaster is eventually going to go down to the
Look at Zaker
on the bad side. He's looking to do what he can. Zaker is pushing on forward. It is a matchup between the junglers onto the side, but they're looking to just get away from one another. And I have to say, Illinois come out on top of that with all of the map control they just granted themselves.
Yeah, well, they did win that fight 3-for-1. Now they have 2 inhibs down. They have the 3rd inhibitor exposed. And, you know, the next time Baron comes up, they're going to have to fight. Otherwise, they're just going to end up losing the game. And, you know, while Fibber has 6 kills now, has the Ludens, has Zhonya's, just bought a needlessly large rod, Gangplank has the Trinity Force, I don't know that that's enough without some real bad missteps from Illinois for them to win a fight, especially around a neutral objective with Kiana.
It's hard, right? You look at what could possibly be a misstep, and there's the Cosmic Radiance. There's the GA that was used by Olaf. I mean, they stayed around.
Yeah, he didn't actually die. He got out of there.
Yeah, he didn't even die for realsies there.
Dragon Balls.
Yeah, somebody gathered the Dragon Balls, brought them on back. Wakanari needs to be on careful. They're looking to collapse onto something here. Sushi Killer's in the wings. That tag team that I was telling you about is in effect, and that's a scary thing as well. The Tarek combined with the Olaf has been a devastating combo. We'll run at you while the Kiana shockwaves you from the side.
And look at this Olaf build. It's just full AD.
I love it.
Aside from the tab eyes, he's just building all the AD items that give you resistance.
Oh, wait, here we go. Cosmic Radiance has to be used here. Ragnarok is going to have to go ahead and be used as well. They are going to find Wakanari as a target. The Supreme Spray of Talent actually whiffed. He clipped the wall on the back end of that fight. But the Hemoblake is not going to be so lucky. Going to be laying out the damage.
Big heal.
Is going to be in a bad spot. Lots of damage coming on out. They pick up Zaker. He is going to go on down. Trade 1-for-1. But now they have super minions collapsing on their base. They have to retreat. They can't keep up chase.
Yeah, and the inhibitor took half its health, a little over half its health, and is taking more too. And Pymaster's in the base. He wants this inhibitor.
Yeah, Dantito is there as well. That is 3 inhibitors down. That is a huge spot. Illinois lost that fight pretty hard there, and then turned around and is like, all right, we get an inhibitor off of this.
Yeah, that's just how macro works in League of Legends. You know, if you have the lay of the map, you can pretty much do whatever you want, you know, because you can just walk in and take down a neutral objective and get on out, even if you're down numbers.
And now this is a Baron, and you were talking about it. You got to fight for this. Well, with all those super minions, you don't really get that choice anymore. Fibber taking his time to hit some wards. I don't know if you want to take a gentle stroll that way any further. Baron has been secured, and Illinois they're looking to possibly close this one on out.
Yeah, it should be pretty formulaic at this point. Just walk on up, find a pick, or push them back, force them to fight you. It might be a decent spot for a fight, considering there's not a lot of terrain in the base, aside from the Nexus and the tower bases themselves. So hard to land a big-time Kiana ultimate unless you're up against the Nexus or something. So there's a chance that UNLV can hold it off, but even without the Kiana ultimate doing a lot, Chemo Plague at this point will do a lot. Vladimir has the Andres and is building an Aether Wisp towards the Spellbinder, and here they go!
Oh, Dandito, he got a huge ultimate to go off of that. Gets 2 of them. Cosmic Radiance has been used. That's going to be enough to keep Dandito alive. They got the artillery popping off on the side. Osawa's going to go on down to Sushi Killer.
He died!
They're going to be able to pipe him on down. That's going to be his first death of the game. But Illinois is still fighting. Zaker's going to go on down next. Ignite is ticking away onto Cleanse. Cleanse dashes forward to try and pick up
those
on the bad side of that. But it's just going to be him getting critted by those feathers. He's going to go on down. It is just the support. It is just this Lutz waiting to defend, but it's not going to be enough. Illinois going to pick up game 1.
Yeah, a little messy at the end, but at least UNLV put up a fight at the end instead of just letting it happen. But overall, a very solid game coming out of Illinois Academy, especially from Sushi Kill and Dandito, who made things happen in the early game and allowed the Zaya and Vladimir to get to a point where, you know, they become champions essentially and actually able to make things happen. You saw how much damage Piemaster was doing there once he had his Infinity Edge completed and had some Zeal items to back it up. He was a very strong Vestayan bird person. So lots of good stuff to look at from Illinois Academy. And for UNLV, when you pick lane winning matchups, you have to be able, especially as the mid jungle 2v2, or at least LeBlanc beats Kiana. You know, Olaf does better than Sedgerly. But in the mid 2v2, when you're playing a champion like LeBlanc, you need to try and roam and make some things happen. Fibber wasn't really able to make that happen. Even after killing Dandito, he'd just run right down bottom lane when he respawned and make things happen. So I think UNLV's got to find a way to make things happen out of the mid lane if they're going to put them on champions like LeBlanc.
Yep. There's a balance to be stricken, and that's definitely going to be something that we're going to be keeping our eyes on to see if UNLV is going to be able to do anything in regards to that. I'm sure they can find a will. There's a way, because that game was even up until a certain point, and then it was just all Illinois all day, every day. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take ourselves a short break. Be sure not to go anywhere, as we're going to be hyping into game 2. Don't go anywhere. Hello, ladies and gentlemen! Yet again, it is game 2. Yet again, it's Travis D and Gus. And yet again, we are firing through the draft super fast. And
Yet
boom,
again, the
Zaire
draft
first
looks
pick.
pretty much the same. Bands are the same, for respective to the teams anyway. And then Zaya first pick by whoever's on blue side. So
UNLV is on blue side, so they're switching it up. They say, we want the Zaya. This does leave Kiana up.
yeah, and after you let Dandito have it last time, they might just go and lock it right on in again as Olaf gets picked again.
Yeah, don't blame him. It ain't broke, don't fix it, man. Olaf was running wild, brother, as he was going through the map. And does leave you the question, what is Illinois wanting to pick up for themselves here?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways they could go about it. They could just pick the Kiana right now, but ooh, Nautilus coming in, and if Dandito was watching Worlds, he might have decided to go a little do-and-be here and pick up the Nautilus mid. Probably not, but that'd be kind of exciting.
Yeah, I don't consider picking tanks in the mid lane to be the most exciting.
It's not
thing,
Tank
but...
Nautilus, it's AP Nautilus.
Yeah, okay, fine. We can do the AP Nautilus mid. But the Rakan is the thing that is hovered and locked in over on UNLV's side. So they got the Lovers duo down here in the bottom. There is a chance that we could see a different Lovers duo, the Kaisa Nautilus. I ship.
Well,
There it is. Listen, man, I see a Nautilus and I can only think of Kaisa. You know, these two right here, they deserve fan art of the two of them together.
You might need to check that other subreddit for that.
Yo, where's Half at? Half is somewhere around lurking. She can draw it.
Oof.
But with that being said, we're going through the bans here, and we're seeing a lot of mid priority in these bans this time around with the bot lanes both being picked up.
Yeah, Kiana getting taken out. Obviously, that champion makes it hard to play around neutral objectives, so definitely something they want taken away here, as well as the Lissandra taken away and the LeBlanc taken away from Fibber. So excited to see what they go for. Yasuo taken away as well.
Let's just dive into the question of what we're going to see. The Vladimir is actually still up and did respectively fine in the last game and is a flex pick, so they could go ahead and lock that in, or they could just pick themselves up a good strong top lane. I feel like they're going to save their mid pick.
That's likely it, or pick a pseudo flex the way Renekton is, because you can play Renekton mid in certain matchups and do Renekton things.
Yeah, could do. Gangplank is looking to be hovered and picked on up. Did look pretty well in lane, just never got a chance to transition. Does mean UNLV is going to be looking for a mid laner blind and something to go into this.
Yeah, they might just end up picking up something very team fight oriented, like the Orianna, something along those lines. Maybe I'd say a relative combo of Sedge, but then they're like full AD, so maybe something like the Orianna, just something AP team fight oriented, something that's just solid, can do serviceably into just about any matchup. But we'll have to see. It depends on what Mr. Fibber wants.
Man.
And hey, it's almost like I play this game or something.
The god himself, Gus, pulling a prediction. There's over 100 champions in the game, and Gus knows what you're going to play. And that being said, it does put the ball in Illinois' court. What do you want into the Orianna in this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, Kaisa would bring magic damage, so if Pymaster or Dandito's feeling spicy, he could go for Lucian, the old school Orianna counter pick. But looks like it will just be Rise, good old Rise, EQ, 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 EQ. But, brings a lot of CC with the Rune Prison and a lot of AoE, and a lot of late game scaling to combo in with the Kaisa. They have the early game this time on the top side with Renekton Olaf, and then they have scaling on the bottom side with the Rise and Kaisa. So once again, just another very solid team fighting composition coming out of Illinois, and another one drafted by UNLV, and it's going to come down to the early game depending on what Sushi Killer and Dandito can get done. But this time it's going to be more on Sushi Killer, because all Rise does early game basically is root people.
Yep.
But sometimes that's all Olaf needs. So
Yeah, he just needs a little bit of CC, right? He needs a little. You need to hold him down a little bit so he can throw the axes at him, because those slows are heavy. And it does draw into the question, where is Olaf going to want to be? I gotta say, this bot lane, top lane, mid lane, they all have great gank assists actually for this Olaf. You have a stun that you can throw on out, you bait out the Gangplank Orange, or there's an axe that will get thrown. There's still a delay that comes through there. And in the bot lane, Nautilus, you know this just as well as anybody, Nautilus is a CC machine. He drives you on down to the abyss of CC.
Literally everything of his does something. His auto roots you, his Q hooks you, his W. Well, I guess his W just does damage and shields him. It doesn't.
He can technically root you because
technically
you W and then you auto.
Then the E slows you, and obviously the depth charge is the depth charge. He's like, I don't know if there's any other champion that has that much like CC just built into their kit.
Maokai.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my answer.
Yeah, that works. So, anything that wasn't played top lane in 2016 that built 3 Dorn's rings.
It's the only champion I could think of there. There's the one time I remember the dark memories of being forced to play Maokai on the team over and over and over again. It's dark times, man. Dark times when you got to play thick boy, the thick version of Ivern. But that being said, Fat Ivern, yeah, I ate a little bit too much at Thanksgiving. UNLV, they've got a pretty disgusting wombo this time around, though. Last game, they had a much more like, if you scatter, we will scatter your life. UNLV this time are saying, yeah, group up this time. We will fight you, you know, as much as you guys want to come at us. I like this composition a lot more from UNLV.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways for Orianna to get a big shockwave off with either Sejuani or Rakan being in the middle of the fight. You know, Gangplank Ultimate is still Gangplank Ultimate, and the barrels that come out of that. And now they have the AoE of the Xayah on their side to, you know, leave feathers out in the middle of the fight. And, yeah, they can just take a big old wombo and make things happen for themselves. But there's a lot of interesting things that Illinois can do. You know, they can let the Kai'Sa ult off to the side. They can have Olaf running interference. They can Rise ult themselves wherever they so desire. And Renekton, once you get Spirit Shojin, is always scary. And it makes that champion scale way better than he ever should have.
Now, we could also... There's a small chance of it happening, I feel like. But you could send the Renekton into Orianna if you want to as well. So they have different matchups that they can kind of go with, that they can kind of mess with the opponent with. I think you do want to keep the Renekton up to the top side and the Rise in the mid lane like we were talking about, especially with Dan. He was the big playmaker in the last game alongside of this Olaf pick. So I can see him wanting to rim warp around the place. Maybe buying Moby Boots first item again and running it down somewhere.
I think Dandito has played both Rise and Renekton recently. So that... There's an option.
Yep.
Something that could potentially happen.
That's what I'm saying, man. It could go anywhere. They pulled the switch and bait on this last game with the Lutz, remember?
True, but that was in draft, not now that they're selecting
guys, listen, just listen, trust me. Just I heard it from my sources, okay?
Oh, okay.
I don't have any info on this.
I was waiting.
Yeah, I felt the pressure there. I was like, man, I'm gonna get called out on this one now. I don't know. I don't even know who my sources are. I don't know if it's Colonel Sanders or what, but Olaf does not have the dynamic partner duo to kind of give him the support, though. Is something that we can talk about here. With the Nautilus does give the CC a lot of CC that will come on out, and he does have diving buddies, really and truly. This is a team that wants to go forward if you're looking at Illinois. It does make it curious because they don't have like the things to buff them, to make them invulnerable as they run at them. So I wonder if we will see them hesitate on a couple more of these plays now that they don't have the power of the turret behind them. Well, just in, I've apparently been fired. I'm told that I need to pack my stuff.
You don't even get a box.
Yeah, I don't get a box. I get a bag of KFC.
I mean, that's a good severance package.
It's okay. It's half eaten. There's no gravy in here either. So,
but I don't think that Illinois is going to have a hard time committing to things because they have Nautilus. He lands a hook and you're basically committed. So it makes things real easy. Whereas before with the Terex stun, you kind of had to finagle your way in there and land the dazzle. Is it still called the dazzle? I don't know if it is or not, but
I like to call it the razzle
for me.
I like to call it the razzle.
With Nautilus, you throw out the hook and it lands, and you pull yourself to them, and you root them up, and you hit them with the depth charge, and they're CC'd for like 5 seconds. So it's kind of hard to not follow up on that, you know?
It is. It actually is. When they can't move, there's essentially like I'm putting you inside of the wheelchair, and you still can't get
not
killed. There's something wrong. Yeah, you're right. Not the wheelchair champion, but you know what is very easy and accessible to everybody, no matter what, even if you are wheelchair disabled. Let me tell you, even if you play in main Garen, there's a place for you in Midwest Esports. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Midwest Esports has been around for many years, starting as a small student group out of Wichita State University. Since then, Midwest Esports has grown to be a veteran organizer to tournaments and events through the U.S. Even though they're in the Midwest, they can come out to the Mid-East sometimes. They host tournaments for games like League of Legends, Rocket League, as well as Overwatch. For more information, check them out at MidwestEsports.com. That's MIDWEST Esports. That's spelled ESPORTS.com. And you'll be able to find all the hottest action, not just in the Midwest, but all across the U.S. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take ourselves a short break. We'll be right back in Game 2. Don't go anywhere. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the UCL. We got a fresh and hot plate of Contenders here for you. And we are going to be going into game 2 here. My name's Travis. I'm joined here by Gus. And Gus, after game 1 here, after we see the picks, we're seeing a little bit of a spread yet again.
Yeah, this time I'm not expecting Dandito to get solo killed and then run right down bottom lane. It's not really something you expect a Rise to do. Rushing Moby boots and running down bottom lane.
Flash room
not exactly something out of Rise's playbook.
He's got his own playbook, man. I'm pretty sure Dandito doesn't play a champion's playstyle. He plays the champion to Dandito's playstyle.
Well, when we see Moby boots Rise, let me know.
Yeah, you know what? We might see it. I'll be sure to ping it out for you. Fibber laying out a little extra poke, and so is Dandito, giving themselves a little bit of damage to start off this laning phase. Do need to be careful. There is a Nautilus right beside Dandito, so I don't think Fibber wants to go any further.
There's also a Rakan close to Dandito on the other side, but he backed on up. You know, level 1s are always so volatile. Not a lot of teams go for level 1 plays anymore, I feel like.
I do have to say something right now. There's a little bit of color commentary I need to bring out here. Over here on the bot side, this Rakan and Xayah are not matching skins, which means it makes me
literally unplayable.
Unplayable. How do you not match skins when you're playing the Lovers Duo?
Like, I get it if one just doesn't have a skin and it's like Rakan with a skin and base Xayah or vice versa. But when you got skins, you got to match them. It's just like a law. You don't chase Singed. There's always a Garen in the bush, and you match your Xayah Rakan skins.
This bot lane, honestly, not cheering for him anymore. Sorry. Commentator is biased now.
Well, you know, I've always been a little biased because I live up near Reno, and these guys are from Las Vegas. So...
Hey, you know, there's the bias coming on through. We can be biased for different teams. It's fine. We can be biased here. Seeing a little bit of poking coming out inside of these lanes. I gotta ask you, what's gonna be the gameplay and coming out inside this game? Where are we gonna be keeping our eyes peeled at?
Tsushikilla. He's basically the champion with the most agency in the game right now, aside from if Zaker's in a position to kill Iwasawa. Otherwise, it's all on this Olaf to make things go for his team, because he's got a scaling mid laner, he's got a scaling bot laner, and he's got early game up in the top lane. So he might just use that top lane pressure to invade on Mahad's top side, secure all that for himself, maybe get a 10-minute Rift Herald a la Clutch, and yeah, we might transition into some top lane dives and getting the Rift Herald and taking down that tower early, because Ryze and Kai'Sa don't really get a whole lot accomplished before the 2-3 item area.
Mm-hmm. And it does draw into a question, man. Dandito's actually shoving it in the mid lane, while the bot lane and top lane are looking very similar with the way the aggression is currently panning out. Boys are pushing in very similar to how it was in the last game here. It is leading us into an interesting scenario, as Olaf did just try for a gank in the mid lane.
Yeah, just one of those transition ganks where I'm heading topside anyway. Might as well throw an axe while I run through mid lane, see what happens. You never know.
Maybe you can discreetly touch your mid laner. You know, it's a great time when you can do that. What? I was ganking you, man. I didn't mean to take cannon minion.
I didn't mean to tax you. It's just who I am.
Says all junglers ever. As couple auto attacks being put in there. Both scuttles were actually grabbed by Sushi.
So I nerf your gold income.
Tsushikilla did it. Look at his right now how he's going, man. I mean, Mahad had the back early yet again. Vision grants where Mahad is. Knockup coming in. Winfield laying out some damage back on the Waka. But Waka has to get on out of there.
Yeah, and that's always fun with the dredge line, is that if you hit terrain, it halves the cooldown. So, and I believe it refunds some mana too. So, always just a good thing just to make sure that you can escape with it if necessary. And, you know, he did a little late there, but, you know, better not doing it at all.
Yeah. Better than dying, I would say. Got a lot of Omnoms on the board as well. Lots of biscuits across the board. Oriana got 2. Zaya got 2. Gangplank already put his hand into the biscuit jar. So he's already gotten 1 for a snack. He's got 1 for later.
Is that what we've been reduced to?
All right, and Pie Masters dropped down very low. They're looking for something here. And Knight's sticking away on Winfield as well. And the AD carry and the enemy support, they are all looking the same HP. And yeah, I think that's not feeling good for Pie Master at this point in time.
Yeah, I think he healed once the Grievous Wounds were on him from the Ignite. So that's always not a good feeling when you're like, wow, my heal only did 60% of what it should have. That feels bad.
Grievous Wounds, strike again. Now Pie Master in a tricky situation. You gotta watch out. These guys do not have a way to get out of the Zaya Rakan combo there, where they jump onto you and they set up those feathers. Does become a very dangerous situation laning versus these two. And now we see it yet again. Wakanari getting hit up, does escape.
That animation was hilarious.
Very loopy, to say the least.
It's like that Zac animation when this elastic slingshot breaks and he just runs at you from Fog of War. He's just kind of running into the wall.
Yeah, he's just running in there. And now we get to see Zaya Rakan recalling together, not using the same skin. But they are recalling together, so, you know.
What if I had just disabled the passive if you weren't using the same skin?
They should.
You don't get to back together anymore.
I 100% agree with that. They should disable it. If you're not wearing the same skin, you cheated on the Zaya Rakan lover duo idea of it. But
you cheated on Riot's wallet.
Yeah, you cheated on Riot's wallet. How dare you? And this is going to be a Cloud Drake. It's heavily contested. We do see the artillery coming down. That's going to be a smite to come on through. That's a shockwave coming on in. That's a lot of damage on the Waka. He's going to
they got first blood.
That is first blood to go on down. This Renekton is still chasing forward. Mahad is looking to go on down. And Dandito is there to support Zacher as they get that kill for themselves.
Yeah, and you look at that flash that he did just to stop Sejuani from even attempting to Q away. And he's just, I'm here, you're dying, get used to it. Boom, Renekton.
That was really, really well done right there. That could have just been a 1-for-1 for both of the mid laners, but instead, Zacher doing a great TP with the Renekton. Usually you see that kill being a solo kill up in the top lane, but instead, he's going to help out his team and carry over some of that Renekton prowess into a fight.
Yeah, it did allow Iwasawa's Gangplank to catch back up in CS, though, and push a wave on in, buy him a little bit of reprieve to clear this Vision Ward. And, you know, the Cannon Barrage came down, and at this point, it's more of a minor inconvenience than anything. But it did have Zacher teleport down, so they will have teleport advantage for a while here if they're able to set something up to where Gangplank can come join.
Did give him an assist, so that was definitely nice on his part. You know, the Renekton got a kill, the Gangplank got a assist as a Gangplank player. Sometimes in the early game, you just look for the assist. You're not looking to get that kill. And
look at the difference in the jungle farm right now, though.
It's
Mahad's
disgusting.
Still not level 6. Sushi Killer is level 7. Probably pretty close to level 8 after finishing off the Scuttle Crab, and it's 68 to 40 in jungle CS, so that's quite a few camps.
Yeah, I have to ask you a question on this one. Is Mahad just falling really far behind because Sushi Killer's route, or is it Mahad just not getting the routes that he needs?
It's him doing things like this, where he goes bottom looking for something, and Sushi mirrors him, goes to the other side and grabs his Gromp or grabs his Krugs or whatever he's able to find for himself. Plus, he got both Scuttles early on, so that gives you a big jump in experience right there.
And here we go, the Glacial Prison down here in the bot lane, not going to secure anybody with that, though. And now Sushi Killer's here. They're looking for the dive. They're looking for, and that is a ton of damage to come on out as the dive goes down in the bot side. Cleanse going to be able to pick up the kill on the Waka. That's the killer instinct coming out. Pie wanted the double buff. Cleanse has to watch out. He's taking tower aggro. The rake could come on. Dandito's here in the side. Is going to be able to flash away. Not going to get rake thrown up. He's looking juicy for these double kills. Mahad, he is just one more hit away from getting Terran apart as he's going to find himself just barely being able to live. That's one kill to come on in. Cleanse is going to be able to pick up the kill on the Dandito. Pie Master has to retreat. He has to get away, and he's not going to get caught out by Cleanse there in the inside of that fight.
Dandito needed another split second to throw out one final Q, or an EQ, and he probably would have picked up at least one, if not both of those other kills. That was really close. It was really good of Cleanse to live through that and pick up what he did. But, wow. This game's already turning explosive this early, even with all these scaling champions involved.
Not only that, man, did you notice he rooted Mahad? Mahad was dead to rights at one point, and they got in front of the Rise to separate the Rise from being able to get too close to Mahad there when he was sitting there at like a wee 100 HP. That is that's a big bit of situational awareness right there that you don't normally see.
I also liked how Mahad's Aftershock was active, so that Rune Prison did like 10 damage is all.
Yeah. Aftershock, what a beautiful thing. Now it is over here in the mid lane, eyes on it. Dandito has gone ahead and gotten himself his Saris, gone ahead and starting to get that built up. It's only an Archangel staff for right now. Got part of what could possibly be Moby boots, but Dandito.
Or, you know, literally any of the other boots in the
game. Could be. But nah, man, Moby boots.
Dandito's tier is almost about halfway stacked, so he's on a pretty decent pace as far as tier stacking goes. But it was always kind of winning these trades against Zaker. As long as he doesn't land an empowered Q, I think he can win trades.
And then Faker was already taken from him, so now we got Zaker up here in the top lane. He's Faker's little long-lost cousin, as what I've been told. I've read his bio. And Zaker looking to see if he can do a performance that will make him proud over here in the Contenders. And now we see the Nautilus getting chased on out because there's 3 people running at him, and he says, oh, no, I do not want any of that.
But Sushi killing Dandito. Dandito's on a ward. Really to attack distortion combo.
Yeah. That could have been really disgusting, by the way. Sushi Killer was waiting in the wings. He was waiting for it. One Rune Prison later. And that Orianna would have been in a bad spot.
Those attack distance combos are always so fun because when you're the Orianna player, you can choose to do it or not. And, you know, you just like, you're getting hit by this, so you might as well just get hit by the whole thing.
Now it's the Cloud Drake, second Cloud Drake of the game to go on over the Illinois. They're going to be able to pick that up nice and easy. No,
that's going to be a fast Olaf.
Yeah, fast boy Olaf. They had this last game too, 2 Cloud Drakes.
And movement speed is actually pretty underrated for Rise because he does have to stop while he casts the spell. So you can actually gain a bit of ground on the Rise if you're careful about it. And so giving Rise that extra movement speed will allow him to, you know, gain all the extra room he needs to actually get in and deal damage. So underrated pickup.
We do need to talk about this bot lane here coming out from UNLV. They are looking very powerful with this 2-0 start for the Xayah. Already has an Essence Reaver. Kai'Sa, as we know, is a very item-dependent champion. Does want to get a couple more items in the build before you start seeing the Kai'Sa that just annihilates everybody's HP bars. So very big thing to talk about with these two, especially with them being so lane dominant. Oh, here we go. Glacial Prison going to connect. Ooh. That is going to be the charm. Where did you go, Wakanari?
Back to the fountain.
To the abyss he goes, man. The dark time.
You know, that's the power of Sejuani and Rakan is just you get engaged on and you really have no way out of it because even if you QSS the Sejuani ult, as long as Winfield's close enough, he can follow it up to where you still get CC'd. So very devastating 1-2 punch of engage that UNLV has, and you know, you combine that with a shockwave and the Xayah AoE, and you know, even if they are down in gold, but they're even now, but even if they get down later on, it's still just that wombo potential that keeps them in this game until the Nexus goes down.
Got the ability to go on for that, and this is looking like a very interesting scenario to be in. Zaker is looking to go ahead and grab that tower. Xayah will be up here in the top lane. Zaker knows about that, and Nautilus hitting the wall.
I've been hit by Nautilus hooks that are less close than that, so...
Gotta throw them out, man.
I've been hit by hooks when I was behind tower, and it still grabs you and pulls you into the tower, and it's like, That doesn't seem possible, but okay. Zaker!
Zaker's going to be in a bad spot. He's trying to call his way on through, but he is going to go on down. Hello, Zaker. Have you remember me? This is the lane swap, baby. That is Shades of the last game. Shades of the last game there.
Yeah, just a little bit. And, you know, he rushed the Black Cleaver, so he didn't have the Shojin. If you had Shojin done, like, hypothetically, he probably could have gotten Winfield really low, or at least potentially killed him, you know? Made it a little more sporting than him just getting blown up like he did there, so...
You know, another crocodile is stronger than
look
the
at the
bird
respect
person.
they're paying to the Sejuani Glacial Prison and the quickness from Rakan. They know that they can't approach this right now. They just have to chill and wait.
Yep. Have to bide some time. Fiber is taking a bit of damage here. He is going to have to use his heal.
Ooh.
That is going to be a big summoner spell. Gone. Still has the flash available, though.
Yeah, and I kind of like how Sushiko walks up, smites, and then just kind of stands still for a second, and then continues to run at him. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, very much so. Now we are seeing the dive coming on out. Iwasawa, what are you going to do? He's going to flash on out of there, pop the barrel, and he is out of dodge. No kill for them, but nobody is on the in position on the other side of the map to really make any use of all this pressure being used here in the bot side.
Yeah, few people were resetting, so it looks like it will be probably this whole tower going down once the Demolishes proc, and looks like Illinois will claim 2 towers for themselves, evening things up.
Yep, getting 2 towers for himself. Now Dandito's in a bad spot. Glacial Prison's going to be used. They're right on top of the blast plant, but it does not matter. Cleanse is on a rampage, and Cleanse said, screw Lucian, just give me the Xayah.
Yep, and it just kind of goes to show that Xayah and Kai'Sa, pretty much the 2 premier AD carries in the game at this point, and you know, even a champion that's designed to bully people in the early game just can't really do it in this meta right now.
Can't really do it. The Xayah, the Rakan have been proving so strong. The spot lane having a complete 180 on how they were in the last bit. Now is Zaker. He's looking for something. He's trying to make a play to got out of this situation, but the only play he's got is his HP bar dropping.
TP coming in.
On out of there. Killer Instinct's used to reposition over onto the side here. Pymaster's still on the back side of this and is looking very healthy. The heal has been
Storm.
used. There's going to be a lot of damage to come on out. They're going to be able to pick up one. That is going to be 1 kill, and that's the Xayah that's going to go down. The slow's coming in from gameplay. Real Morph going to be used. It's going to be in its first trip. There's 4 members. Hello, how's it going? Double kill to come on out. Pymaster still looking for a possible kill. Fibber is over here in the area.
Shockwave.
They do need to be careful. Shockwave is available. They're going to be looking for some damage to come on in. They're going to be able to get a 3-man Shockwave, but the damage is not there. And Renekton is still here in the area. He got to go back to Fountain to come on back in. Zaker picks up a kill, and our prize is going to be a 3rd Cloud Drake, says Illinois.
Yeah, and you saw just how chaotic that fight ended up being, but just the mobility, you know, the air drakes came in pretty good right there, allowed them to chase him down along with the realm warp from Rise. They got themselves a 3rd air drake, so they're about as fast as they can possibly be at this point, and you know, picking themselves up some kills, and now they have themselves about a 2,500 gold lead, and probably gonna pick up some more towers for themselves and really try to blow this game open.
I'm gonna say it right now, with that whole thing that happened, that was 4 towers that went down in the time span of 2 minutes off of that play.
That's a lot.
Actually, that was 5. I was 5 because they got the top tower too. So that was 5 towers that went down, but within 2 minutes. That's a huge influx of gold.
Yeah, but like I was saying earlier, the wombo potential for UNLV is always there. They are never fully out because they can always land the perfect Shockwave and CC combination with Xayah Gangplank's AoE to win a fight. Even if they're down, I mean, there's a limit, obviously. If they're down 15,000 gold or 10,000 gold, it's probably not going to happen. But as long as it's somewhat close and people get locked up in all that CC and damage, UNLV can still win fights. So, you know, Illinois has to keep their foot on the gas pedal and keep trying to force things, because Renekton will have his Shojin at a point, but Gangplank only gets stronger and stronger. Xayah only gets stronger and stronger. Orianna only gets stronger and stronger. Olaf will start to drop off, and you can see the difference in build this game compared to last game. Last game, he was full AD Olaf, building Guardian Angel and Hex Drinker. This game, after the Black Cleaver is done, he's building Righteous Glory, so getting a bit more tanky, less straight damage.
Yeah, which is understood. I mean, you want to give a lot of respect to this team, and he needs to be a bit more bulky to go in there. This is a run at you comp. This
also, imagine how fast he's going to be with three air drinks and the Righteous Glory.
Yeah, right? He's going to be speeding on in there. With the Ragnarok popped, oh man, you ain't stopping that Olaf. He's going right for your carries. It does bring up the question, though, UNLV. They do have the Wombo combo like you were talking about. When is the combo good to pull? Because the Baron is being started right now. They don't know.
Right now, when they're on Baron would be a fantastic time, but I don't know how quickly this is going down. Is Kai'Sa doing enough?
It's almost gone.
Whoa. Yeah, they're going to get this for free. 20-minute Baron.
They didn't know. Like, they weren't paying any mind to the Baron as a possibility. They were in that area. They were actually in a bush, trying to bush strat it. And instead, while they were bush stratting, they were taking actual objectives on the side of Illinois.
Yeah, and once Kai'Sa has that Ginsu's, that neutral objective power comes in, she's able to proc the passive a lot quicker, and all that % health damage coming in makes it pretty trivial to take down something like a Baron. It'll take a little bit of time, because obviously you're not as strong as you would be at 30 minutes or so, but still, great call from Illinois. They pick up themselves a 21-minute Baron.
Absolutely fantastic call, and here we go. Bandito is looking to jump on in there.
He has his own Righteous Glory.
Pop on in, but he's going to find himself getting jumped onto. Instead, Bandito is going to go on down, and Fibber going to be able to pick up that kill for himself. And you were talking about it earlier, by the way. You said he's doing his Doing P impersonation. He did it a complete way, man.
Yeah, it feels like they called for it. And then everyone else but Dandito got cold feet when they realized how many people on UNLV were still here.
Oh, here we go. That is going to be the fact that he is just going to get knocked up and killed. Winfield is going to be a sacrificial lamb, but the Lovers duo goes down together here, and that is going to be a huge pickup to have.
It shows you how confident Illinois is, though. Even though Dandito just died, they still had the confidence to go for that play. You know, they're still knowing, hey, Bandito may have died, but we still have Baron. We still are pretty strong right now. We still have a decent gold lead, almost at 6K. We're getting there. And more towers going down for Illinois.
Yeah. Let me tell you, man, there is a bunch of rules that you have to undergo whenever you play with Dandito, right? There's a bunch of things. Dandito does as he pleases is rule number 1. Rule number 2 is you must always be prepared for Dan Fido to come out. And then rule number 3 is just Dandito also still does whatever the hell he wants. He's a man of his own rules, his own law. He is the law.
I am the law, and he's got a Righteous Glory. Olaf's got a Righteous Glory. Hey, look, they're doing the mid 2v2. They just had to build some items to be able to do it. They just both press Righteous Glory and run at him.
Now we are seeing the Infernal coming out, and this Drake control is there. They're looking for a possible fight, but they are going to get zoned out by Waka. And like you were just talking about...
Oh, Realm Warp.
Realm Warp all the way over to the tower. I said, hey, can you keep up with our rotations here?
Not physically, no. Right? Realm Warp is a pretty good rotation tool.
Yeah. I love to see how they're using it. And they are using it just so freaking well. Tsuchikilla taking that powder keg. Here we go. Here's the fight that they're looking to jump into. Ragnarok is going to be popped down. Winfield's in the backside. He's going to go down immediately. Shockwave is going to hit onto the backside there. But Piemaster is still getting kills onto the backside. They're just so freaking healthy. Piemaster uses that killer instinct to the backside. The rate comes on through.
All the feathers!
That's not the kill. But Cleanse is still going to go on down. And Illinois are being able to pick up a huge team fight win there.
If Kai'Sa was still alive, they could probably just try to end. They still might. They might just get some Nexus towers or just get the inhibit back off. But if Kai'Sa had lived, not gotten caught up in the feathers, they might have actually had a serious chance to get some Nexus towers and, you know, probably not end looking at the death timers actually. But just with how hype that was, it felt like that was the end of the game almost.
Yeah, that would have been a huge play if Piemaster was able to stay alive, but Piemaster diving in deep with the killer instinct, trying to pick up those kills. Just
you
wasn't
forget
able to
about
get
this
that last
eye of
one.
feathers, and then you got 15 feathers coming at you from out of nowhere.
Yeah, those things are prickly, man. They'll kill you. As we did just
Yeah,
see.
she sharpens those things.
By herself. Sometimes she
Yeah.
makes Rakan do it. It's an abusive relationship the two of them have.
Stockholms.
There we go. Somebody else is about to feel Stockholms right now. But it is not going to be anybody, actually. Never mind. Sushi Killer going to walk away from that. He was feeling it for a moment there, and he said, nah, I'm not. I'm not diving in too deep on this one. He does have an hourglass in his pocket. He'll be able to tell what time it is, but that definitely wasn't time to engage.
Yeah, not yet. Glacial Prison's almost up. Shockwave's
maybe
almost
here.
up.
Mahad is going to find himself getting jumped onto here. They're looking to continue this on. The Righteous Glory used. That was an interesting flash choice, but Dandino was there to cut off your path. Righteous Glory popped, and that is going to be a kill, a pick to be made. They're going to be looking to press this on into this top side.
Yeah, it always feels bad at Sedge when you get the Gargoyle Stoneplate second, because until you pop it, you don't really have a whole lot of HP. You have some resistances, and then when you pop it, it's kind of, in that situation, you're just kind of forlorn, you know? Not a good place to be.
No, not at all. Not at all. And is this going to be the top tower to go on down? Illinois is going to be able to pick this one on up. And now, if you're the side of UNLV, you got to think, all right, when do we pull the trigger on this Wombo combo and make it happen? Because they tried to Wombo combo that last time, and everybody just ran at him and just forego the Wombo combo.
Yeah, they can't. I don't think that they can sit back and wait for it to be perfect. You know, you can't sit there and line up a 5-man Shockwave. You got to be happy with like a solid 3-man or a 2-man, as long as it's got Bandito and Pie Master in it. You can't be looking for pure perfection here, and with Cleanse down bottom, it just kind of leaves Baron open.
And lots of damage coming on out. Now
he hit the wall!
He hit the wall. He's going to hit the depth charge. That's going to be fine. Not going to be able to get anything with that Shockwave. It just does no damage. Prime Master picks up the kill on Mahad, and this could be the possible Baron. We are seeing a call. They said, let's get Zaker. Zaker is in trouble, but not for very long. He's going to be able to get up out of there as he slices and dices to get up out. Baron is being absolutely melted. They're going to be able to get everything taken care of. And
it's just harsh because Orianna even landed a pretty good Shockwave. They've just the damage isn't there. Does complete Morello now. I am in the camp with LS saying that you don't need to be completing Morello unless you absolutely 100% need the healing reduction at this point in the game. And looking at their team comp, I mean, like Olaf heals a bit, Renekton heals a bit. Kaisa probably took Bloodline, but I don't know that completing Morello right now is optimal. Let's put it that way.
I think she needs 6 step caps.
True. Sign me up for that.
There we go. Depth charge is going to go ahead and be used.
Wakanari
is going to find himself in a bad spot. He's going to go down. That's going to be supportal combat. As goes over in the favor of Winfield, but he does trade his life. My master picks that on up.
Dandito with the Righteous Glory popped is kind of scary. He's just like running at you, turning away, running back at you, turning away, and you don't know what he's thinking.
Oh, Sushi Killer's going to go on down. They're going to use the Featherstone to try and get out of there. That's the worm up that's coming over onto the side. It's going to be special delivery coming on through, but not going to be able to get anybody with that. Shockwave's going to be able to hit on 2.
Good Shockwave on the back.
It's going to be a Wasawa. He's trying to kite this on back, but Zaker is just jumping on. He is an alligator that doesn't care about your feelings. He is on a rampage, and Illinois are looking like they can't be stopped.
Yeah, this is probably going to be the end of the game. They're getting all 3 in. I was going to say, you don't need to get all 3 inhibs, just hit the towers. But now the wave's gone, probably going to just take all 3 inhibs here and look for a final reset.
They do have, they have minions. They have minions that are hitting that
Next
inhibitor, so they're going for that. That's just going to be a kill that comes on out. Zaker gets himself another kill, padding up that KDA. 6, 1, and 7 is feeling so good, and that is going to be game a 2-0 going over to Illinois. And you gotta say, Gus, that was a different game than game 1 that we saw.
Yeah, it was definitely a little less fast and furious early on. It took the dragon fight for it to really spice up, and you know, it just got to the point where the Kaisa got strong enough. Dandito, while he did kind of, put himself in a couple of bad situations, he was still Rise. Still got a lot of kills, still did a lot of damage, had himself some good gold. And, once Renekton completed the Spear Shojin, he just kind of could not be matched in the side lane. Even when they sent 2 people after him, he's still able to slice and dice his way on out. And the masterful first Baron really just kind of was like, whoa. And if you're on UNLV there, you're just kind of like, huh. Well, now we can't do anything really until the Baron wears off, even though Dandito died. And, it's just tough when things like that happen, because you're just sitting there and you're just kind of on a time limit before you can really try to do something. But when you have a champion like Kaisa that's already strong and you have to wait for you to do anything, that just buys her more time to be stronger as well. And it just makes things rough.
Yeah, we got to talk about the fact that even though UNLV did lose this game, Cleanse put up the highest DPM in this game here, was absolutely disgusting, and was actually just putting out a ton of damage and looked really good going in the lane into the mid game. And you had to think Illinois were sweating, but Illinois able to pull it out. That being said, Gus, for this series, I have to ask you, who is your MVP? Because I think I have one. I don't know if it's the same as yours, but I do want to hear what yours is going to be.
So for me, I have to give an honorable mention to Dandito, especially game 1. His Kiana was really good.
Dan the man. That's what he's known as around campus.
But MVP has got to be Sushi Killa. He played the Olaf really well, did what he needed to do. We saw that he had a 2-level lead at one point. Sejuani was not level 6 yet, and he was already level 7. So Sushi Killa did what he needed to do on Olaf, especially in this game. When Dandito was playing a champion that can't really roam along with him early on, he still did what he needed to do, made things happen, got his team to a point where the Rise and Kaisa could kind of stand up on their own feet without being baby deer, stumbling around. And yeah, I think Sushi Killa's got to be MVP for this series.
You know what? I'm going to 100% agree with you on that one. So congratulations, Sushi Killa. You are our MVP. And you also got to play Olaf 2 games in a row without getting banned. Congratulations on that one. But with that one being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and head on out for the night. Make sure you check out Upsurge same time tomorrow to be able to catch out some more League of Legends actions, as it will be the UPL. It ain't no Contenders, right? Contenders, they come fresh out the oven. It's some fresh, magnificent gameplay. UPL, they're all right over there, I guess. So make sure you tune in on Tuesday, 8 p.m. to be able to catch the action. With that being said, my name's Travesty. I've been joined here by the ever so voluptuous Gus, and we will catch you guys next time.
Adios.
By the way, Ark will stream this. He thinks that I don't care about him. He's our production person. Give him a hi. Say hi to Ark Wolf. He's a cool guy. Like, occasionally. He says bad things about him.
Hit him with a hey guys in the chat. Hey guys.
Yeah, hit him with a hey guys. Bye.